distilled water, and I added some an apricot, and then how do I add my protein? Protein powder. And then for fat, I had a whole tablespoon of flaxseed oil. So I'm using supplements as food as opposed to like a specialty, because people can go off the deep end and then there's like all these things that don't do the benefit, because you need, for it to work, you need to have your diet be 80% or more on spot on where you need it to be.
Right. Yeah, so many people just get away with it for whatever reason, or just get, whatever reason.
Well,
a lot of it's convenience or laziness or just pure lack of knowledge.
Well, what you have, I've seen my partner Chuck explain the stack, and it's like, oh, so if I take the stack, I can eat McDonald's and I'll be healthy. No. You got to fix your diet first, and then the stack is, and I'm taking it as an anti-aging stack, but other people take it as a weight loss stack, because if you take the omega-3 and the L-carnitine and the CoQ10, you'll actually burn fat for energy, and some people burn up to 10 pounds of fat in like the first month or two, and then it levels off.
Very interesting. And that's why we're hooked up with Eric. That's why I'm talking to him, because he's talking to you about his personal regime. This is not the company line. This is what I do because in fact you and I had a conversation, and I'm going to throw the line out that we talked about is we're human guinea pigs. The reason we're disseminating information out to people is because I'm the guy who's nuts enough to jump in the pool with sharks and see if they bite, or so jump in the so if I want to get stronger, I'm going to try it on me, or if I want to get healthier, you're going to try it on me, and then we'll talk to you about it. And I think that's a huge thing, and willingness to share both your personal regimen, because a lot of that's a big thing in the fitness industry is I'll tell you my company line, but what I actually do is different.
Right.
It's not cool. We're straight up 100%.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing right now, which is, again, my own personal experiment right now. My mother-in-law recently passed away. She had some liver issues, cancer. And as I was researching what to do, for her, I came upon the idea of liver cleanses and zappers. Have you ever heard of these things called zappers? No. Well, there's a woman called Hulda Clark. She wrote The Cure for All Cancers. And in it, there's a liver cleanse, where you basically don't eat anything with fat the whole day, and then you take like lemon juice and Epsom salts, and the next day you take more lemon juice and Epsom salts. It's structured. And the people who have done it basically say that little green stones come out, because that's all your bile ducts and your liver cleansing out. And I've had a personal friend do it, actually one of the investors in my company, and I also had a naval officer do it. When my mother-in-law fell ill, I started looking into the whole idea of liver cleanses, and also it came out this idea of zappers. The idea is that you have bacteria, parasites, and viruses in your body, and that if you're able to send an electrical charge at the right frequency, you kill them, but you don't kill you. And as I was researching, there's one called the Ultimate Zapper. My mother-in-law passed away, so she won't be using the zapper, but perhaps it was one of these things that now I have it. And one of the things that it says is there's something called electroporation. It is that these charges that go in, because they're at the millivolt or microcurrent through your body, actually make the cell wall more permeable, which means that you actually absorb more supplements. So I'm doing it in the morning, and right before I eat my breakfast, to see what the effect is on my CoQ10 and L-carnitine and omega-3 uptake. And also, I'm going to do a liver cleanse this weekend. I want to see if the green stones come out. I've heard two people talk about the green stones coming out. Well,
I've heard that too.
Now it's my turn to do it, and I'm going to keep playing with the zapper, because sometimes when I do take supplements with caffeine, I played with it just to see if it's true, and I did feel increased energy right here. So the zapper, you can get it for something like $200. The one I like is from a guy in Canada, but there's simpler models. But again, electroporation, is that true or not? Well, I've only done it 2 days. But that is my current project, because think about the possibilities. It's something you were saying. Supplements are only as effective as they get into their bloodstream. So, for example, there are certain vitamins out there that are very famous. That I had a friend in the army who worked the latrines. Says you could still see the brand of the vitamin when he was cleaning the latrine.
Wow.
So that means that you did not absorb anything.
Right.
In fact, when I was in the Walgreens one day, I remember they were talking about bioavailable versus generic. Because you could take 250 milligrams of the same thing, but you could put like concrete around it to make it really cheap for you to produce. But when the person consumes it, it doesn't get into the bloodstream. That's how you got it cheap. So bioavailable means that it has to disperse in the bloodstream as well as the original brand pharmaceutical. Well, I think you should never take any pharmaceutical because they're not good for you. That's a separate period. That's a separate discussion. The whole bioavailable thing is that if the electroporation actually increases the amount of supplement that you absorb, that has to be part of your strategy.
Well, I mean, that's like something I've never even heard of that. That's a way to supercharge what you're getting out of it. And you're so right about the bioavailability thing. You don't really notice that until you start studying these things, and the mainstream information is so lacking in what's going on with that. Which is why we're here. We're doing this and introducing you to people, and the whole thing is, like I just as an offhanded commentary on that, a friend of mine was talking to me about this, and magnesium.
Oh yeah.
Right? Well, like there's like 4 or 5 different forms of magnesium. Only 1 or 2 your body can actually absorb, but the ones that's most often in your vitamins are just the cheap ones that you literally can't even, you can't uptake it, you can't do anything. So it's truly just it's a complete waste of everything, and your money and time, and not only is it a waste, it's potentially the opposite. It's potentially hazardous because not only can you not absorb it, you're probably absorbing some portion of the bad from it, as well as having to excrete it or having to get rid of it. So if you can't absorb it, you got to get rid of it somewhere, and it's got to do something. And those are never good consequences to have in that particular thing. So what would you, if you had to give people a basics and general prescription for health, because that's kind of where you sit in our world, and this whole thing is, besides the 800 different things you do, and by the way, I speak languages and working Navy, pilot, Krav Maga instructor and a fitness instructor, and a skin cream company, and dad, and author, and I'm big on wearing 100 hats thing too. Cool. So you have a ton of personal experience and things to work from. We've obviously just scratched the surface here with some of the stuff we talked about as far as supplements and that kind of thing. If you had to give people a quick, basic prescription for health and longevity, what would you tell them?
All right, first of all, I'd say the simple and direct route. If it's not simple and direct, question it. So what would I say? Drink only water. I know there's this huge distilled or spring water contra. Drink only water. Water is this thing that will clean you. Second, try to make sure that 50% of the food on your plate is raw and organic. So you can eat rice, you can eat chicken, you can eat meat, but try to make sure that you're getting raw organic vegetables and fruits into your diet. Number 3, joint mobility. If there is a fountain of youth, it is joint mobility. Number 4, some type of meditation or qigong. And number 5, some type of exercise program that you like. It could be as easy as walking 2 miles a day. It could be as hardcore as what we do. But some form of fitness that you like.
Because truthfully, for longevity, I mean, you and I kind of come from that kind of hard world of let's exercise hard. But some of the longest people living in the world walk a lot, and that's a big common factor. And again, enjoyment of life, enjoyment of what you do, and all those things play in. Okay, if your joints are mobile, you don't walk around in pain, you move well, you enjoy your life. If you meditate and you're calm, or whatever it is you do to that, you enjoy life. If you're exercising enough to be in good shape, enjoy life. If you want to live more and better, if you have good tasting food that makes you feel good, enjoy life, get better. All of that works to play in together.
And if I'm gonna finish with a challenge. which is, like I was telling you, when my mother-in-law passed away, we went through a lot of grief. For, let's say, from the moment we were told that she was going to die to the actual, let's say it's like a week of crying and then all the family members. When that was done, I tried to go back into training, and I was weaker. And I realized that there's a connection between your emotions, your health, and your performance. So my challenge to you is to try to remain at peace internally throughout the day for as long as you can. And with 4 kids in life, that can be a challenge, but that is a challenge.
And I think so much of that is in how you see those challenges. You see it as a positive or a negative challenge. 4 kids is busy and running, 4 kids is a blessing. All in how you see it, how you see it that way.
Oh yeah.
And even sometimes even the greatest challenges that are difficult things to deal with end up as the biggest blessings.
Mm-hmm.
And they do the most for us, and they teach us the most things. And actually, a mutual friend of ours, Peter Ragnar, I asked him, how do you maintain a relentless positivity in the face of people who are negative on a regular basis? And he said, you make it a self-challenge, you make it a game. You go into it with I always, when I explain this to people, I always liken it to the idea of going into basic training. In this, if you go in with the idea that every time somebody yells at you, you're going to fall apart or you're going to get angry, you'll never make it. But if you go in with the idea that I'm just going to do what I'm supposed to do regardless of whether somebody yells at me or not, whether they're crazy, whether they're angry, whether they're in my face, negative or whatever, I'm going to do the job. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to maintain that relentless positivity. You'll both survive and thrive. That's a secret to getting through, with my length of experience there, not obviously yours. But that in life is such a huge thing. So take that as a challenge. How long every day can you maintain positivity? Can you maintain emotional, peaceful
calmness, emotional control? It's like Peter says, when you face a challenge, says it was for this that I was training for, and it can apply to everything. I remember, when I used it, I was in California, one of these long winding roads, and then it started getting dark and raining really hard. It was kind of like not such a. I went on a pleasure drive, and on the way back, it's like you can hardly see. And I felt myself getting annoyed. And I said, wait a minute. And I thought, Peter, it was for this that I was training for, and I made the drive back with low visibility a challenge, and it changed the dynamics.
Absolutely. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to more stuff from Eric. Look at his websites, and you'll see him obviously all over our websites and his. And I'm looking forward to some of this stuff. It's going to be very, very cool. And I hope you guys enjoy meeting Eric and come back and see him all the time.
Hey, thanks a lot, Ted.
You too.